Okay, so Tesla, I believe, now has S&P 500 put underneath it. What it means is that there is a floor beneath the stock price for the foreseeable future until it is included in S&P 500. Everybody was expecting Tesla to be included in S&P 500, and I don't know where the idea of adding it to S&P 500 this last Friday came about, because I sure was not expecting Tesla to be added to S&P 500 on September 4th. I mean, S&P 500 selects randomly when it's going to add a stock, and it does not really want to give any kind of a heads up to anybody. So if and when, well, it's more a question of when, not if. S&P 500 adds Tesla, it's going to be a total surprise. They're not fools. They're not going to pre-announce. It could happen next week. It could happen the week after. It could happen in October. But I think that now Tesla has what I call the S&P 500 put, similar to the Greenspan put or the Federal Reserve put at times in the stock market, which simply means that until this event transpires, there, I believe, is a floor underneath the stock price that would keep the stock from going below a certain price. I don't know what that price is, but it would be really stupid to sell Tesla now until it is added to S&P 500 at the very least. Plus, there's tons of other catalysts coming on, like Battery Day on 22nd of September. Then you got in the first week of October Q3 delivery numbers. Then you got earnings coming on, I think, close to tentatively it should be sometime around end of October, like closer to 23rd of October.
Earnings have not been they haven't been very good for other companies, though, as far as in terms of moving their stock lately. Despite having good earnings, many stocks have not performed accordingly.
Yeah, but I mean, Zoom went up like God knows 35%, 40%, and then it gave up most of its gains along with the market. But it did go up big time. So I have revised my estimate. I was thinking that Tesla was going to top out by 22nd or by the end of September, but I think I was clearly wrong. I think what's going to happen with Tesla is that it's going to go longer than I anticipated, and it's probably going to run into end of October, or at least into Q3 earnings. So that's what I'm thinking. But in the stock market, you got to keep a very open mind, and you can't just have preconceived notions. So you just go along with how things go.
It's been difficult to go along with the last week or so. It's been a rough week.
Yeah, it's been a rough week, but I mean, Tesla is still doing really good. I mean, it closed, even if you take the after hour price of $390, that's like almost $1,900
Well,
a
if you
share
look at where we
pre-split.
were last year at
Yeah.
this time, I believe it was trading beneath that before the split at
Yeah.
this time last year. I don't remember the exact dollar amount, but
Well, I've got tons of hypotheses about the stock price, which if you look at this chart, and honestly, I'm too lazy to share my screen or learn how to share the screen.
we need a third-party app for that.
Right. Because we are not like professional YouTubers. We got like day jobs, and we are
And
super
night
busy,
jobs.
and night jobs, and we are super busy. So we just YouTube just for the heck of it, because whenever
One
we
of
get a
these
chance.
days, I'm supposed to get to talk about something besides this.
Oh, feel free to talk about something, but it's like so. Anyway, I think if you look at the stock chart, Tesla just formed a third base, in my opinion, if you look at the weekly stock chart. And similar to Qualcomm in 1999, you could anticipate maybe a fourth base forming before the stock tops. So I'm looking at, maybe another fourth base forming currently with the current action. I honestly don't care what happens on Tuesday. After us is meaningless. I mean, they sold off the stock like to $390, $389. Who cares?
Anything could happen.
Anything could happen, but I think Tesla is headed higher over the next several weeks, and that's the way we are positioned. So, yeah, what else do you want to talk about besides Tesla? How horrible movies have been lately?
That's been yes, but not really. I think there's a lot of amazing old movies out there that people should rewatch and or watch for the first time, and that just might entertain you if you have the time. So
Take your mind off the stock market. I mean, don't be like obsessively watching the stock market all the time.
well,
And that's the secret to success. Is not obsessively watching, not acting on intraday stock. It's you have sometimes you're better off just watching movies.
I think that, and we had this conversation, I do think that people should be looking out for some new options or things that are on the horizon and looking at opportunities for investment in other areas.
Like
I believe so.
you were right on. I was wrong. You were right. You said Tesla is gonna sell off after the split, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, I did think that that would happen, and for a variety of reasons. But I thought that people would basically try to walk away with their earnings. I mean, most of the time, people are, I don't know. It's like a get rich quick kind of thing. They're not in it for the long haul. They see something and then they get scared, and then they quickly just work out a panic. Whereas people who've been with something long term, they know that there's tons of ups and downs and more in store.
Right.
But it's, you know, I mean, that's just the society we live in. It's a need for instant gratification. And I think that says more to the psychology and the everything that's wrong with this generation. And that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, I mean, in my mind, that was inevitable. But I mean, I'm a little bit excited, and we can talk about it at another time. But I'm a little bit excited about a few of the opportunities. I think Airbnb is going to be really cool.
Yeah, Airbnb IPO. Yeah.
I see a lot of potential there. And then I do like, I think that there's going to be a little bit more to DocuSign. And I like Zoom that you were showing me.
Yeah.
So I just think that people should be open to opportunities. And then I'm always open to pharmaceutical stocks. So.
Let me expound a few minutes more before we turn this thing off about the idea of S&P 500 put. So what is a put? Like you basically buy protective puts against your long holdings to prevent your holdings from losing a ton of money. So that's distracting me, but anyway. So in any case, I think, so imagine yourself, you got a bunch of Tesla stock. Do you want to sell your Tesla stock on Tuesday only to find that S&P 500 adds Tesla on Tuesday evening? Same thing is true for any other given day of the week. I mean, in all honesty, if you are thinking logically, why on earth would you sell your Tesla stock on any given day of the week? Theoretically, S&P 500 could add Tesla suddenly without any prior warning on any evening. So there is a floor beneath the stock price. Those who are going to sell, they're going to regret it. I mean, I'd be scared to sell my holdings. Yeah.
Sold and went back in.
Okay, by the time, okay, supposing S&P 500 announces on an evening, after hours, like they usually announce, what, 5:15 Eastern time? That's like 4:15 Central time. After hours closes at like 7 o'clock Central or 8 o'clock Eastern time. Oh my gosh, the stock price is going to be up like freaking 15-20% after hours. 10%, 15%. Do you really want to sell your Tesla stock and buy it back 10, 15, 20% higher? Because right now, everybody is expecting that, or the majority of people who sold after us, they think that S&P 500 is not going to add Tesla. Well, that is really, really not true, because Facebook got added in the quarter after it became profitable for 4 quarters. So I think Tesla is definitely likely to be added. There are no guarantees. This is not an investment advice by any means, but there's a very high probability that Tesla is going to be added at some point. And the longer this thing drags on, the better it is for the stock price. Because people who are thinking logically, they're not just going to get out of Tesla and risk the event of S&P 500 inclusion happening without them being into the stock. Now, one more thing I would warn is call options. Now, a small percentage of our portfolio, like Interactive Broker, is in call options, which I mean, I couldn't care less. But I think it's kind of late to chase stock call options at this time. You could make money maybe with one more trade, but it's pretty risky. I think it's a better bet to hold common stock over call options. So, and I was really truly encouraged by the stock price action on Friday. Tesla kind of outperformed most of the stocks. It outperformed Nasdaq, and it formed like a hammer candlestick pattern candle on the chart, and it got support on 21-day exponential moving average. Now, weekly chart, there was slightly higher volume, but this happens all the time. Like in Qualcomm in 1999, Taser in 2004, Bitcoin in 2017. You can take like tons of like 1999. There were other stocks like JDS Uniphase and stuff like that. So there is a higher volume weekly sell-off, but the weekly candle wasn't bad at all. It was pretty darn encouraging. So all in all, I'm just gonna, as far as we are concerned, we're gonna stay the course, and we are not gonna take the risk of missing out on S&P 500 inclusion, which is only one of the multiple catalysts. You got like battery day. You'd be a fool to sell before battery day on 22nd. Then you would be an idiot to get out of Tesla before the Q3 delivery numbers are announced, like by the 3rd or 4th of October. Then you got to wait for earnings. So you got a runway of at least another 7 to 8 weeks and see where the stock price heads. And now this is purely speculative on my part, and I'm not making any advice, not giving you guys any advice. I think the stock could shoot up to anywhere from 500, $600 on the low end to like 700 to 1,000. 700 is 3,500 pre-split, 1,000 is like 5,000 pre-split. Not that it's going to sustain at that level, but in a speculative frenzy, anything is possible. So I'm going to take my chances.
Okay.
All right, goodbye.
See ya.
Bye. It's not good for you to win the thing.